There comes a time in every man's life when the mirror no longer reflects who he wants to be, but merely who he has been. That moment is sacred. That moment, brother, is the first spark of reinvention. 2025 isn't just another year. It's not just a page on the calendar. It's a turning point, a threshold between what you've been and who you could become. In a world flooded with distractions, noise, and shallow validation, becoming unrecognizable isn't about hiding. No, it's about evolving, transforming, shedding the skin of mediocrity, fear, and regret, and stepping into the man you were always meant to be. This video is a journey into the fire, a fire that will burn away weakness, excuses, and false identity. And from the ashes, you, the real you, will rise, unapologetically, unshakably, unrecognizably. We're diving deep. This isn't surface-level advice. You will hear the truth, raw, historical, emotional, and empowering. You will gain the tools to dismantle your current self and rebuild something greater, something legendary. This is for the man who's tired of looking back, for the man who's ready to walk away from comfort, from comparison, from compromise. This is for the man who dares to ask, what if this is my last chance to become him? So if that's you, strap in. What you're about to hear is not just information, it's transformation. Like, share, subscribe. Comment below with, I'm ready, if you're ready to rise from the shadows and become unrecognizable in 2025. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Death of the Old You. No man steps into the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. Heraclitus. Before we can talk about reinvention, we must talk about death, not the physical kind, but the death of identity, habits, and the man you used to be. Let's get one thing straight. The man you are today was built by yesterday's choices, every excuse you tolerated, every fear you bowed to, every opportunity you let pass. They've all built the version of you you see in the mirror. But here's the brutal truth. If you want to become unrecognizable in 2025, that man must die. You cannot drag him with you into your future. You can't negotiate with your old self. Reinvention doesn't come through minor improvements or 5-minute motivational hacks. It comes when you make a violent decision to burn the blueprint and start over, with purpose, with clarity, with courage. So what does that death look like? It starts with radical self-awareness. Sit alone. No music, no phone, no scrolling, just you and your reality. Ask yourself the questions most men avoid. Am I living with discipline or drifting in distraction? Am I acting from purpose or performing for approval? Am I surviving or am I building something worth remembering? Most men never ask these questions because they're afraid of what they'll find. But you, if you're still listening, are not most men. You're a man standing at the edge of the old world, and something inside you is ready to break free. You cannot heal what you refuse to confront, and you cannot reinvent what you won't first disassemble. Look around you. The most powerful transformations in history have come through pain and pressure. The phoenix rises from ashes, not comfort. Steel is forged in fire, not peace. Men of legacy, from Marcus Aurelius to Malcolm X, were not born icons. They were reborn through suffering. They chose to destroy who they were in order to become who they were called to be. This is the pattern of power. Break, bleed, building, become. And now it's your turn. Take inventory of your life. Identify the weak links in your character: laziness, insecurity, resentment, procrastination. Don't just acknowledge them, hunt them, expose them to light, destroy them daily with ruthless intention. It starts with your mind. Your thoughts shape your identity. Every self-doubt you repeat to yourself becomes a chain around your future. You have to reprogram the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue must change from "I'm trying" to "I am," from "maybe one day" to "today I begin." It continues with your body. Discipline in your physical life creates clarity in your mental life. Train like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. A man who controls his appetite, his sleep, his fitness, and his habits is a man who becomes dangerous to mediocrity. Then it moves to your circle. Who are the voices that shape you? Who do you let speak into your life? Cut off access to anyone who feeds the man you're trying to bury. You can't become a new man surrounded by people who still see you as the old one. And finally, it seeps into your vision. What do you see when you think of your future self? Do you see a man who's respected, clear, grounded, powerful, purposeful? Or do you see a man who repeats the same year over and over, calling it life? Here's a hard truth. If your goals don't scare you, stretch you, or demand a different version of you, they are not big enough. So this chapter, this moment, is a funeral. Not one of mourning, but of freedom. Freedom from the boy who settled. Freedom from the habits that killed your confidence. Freedom from the comfort that kept you average. From this day forward, you are no longer that man. Let him rest, because in the next chapter, you will begin to build. Comment below. Rippy to the old me if you're ready to let go and level up. Chapter 2. Rebuilding from the ground up. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Now that the old version of you is laid to rest, the next question is this. What do you build in his place? Because reinvention isn't just subtraction, it's construction. It's the disciplined, intentional design of a man who didn't exist before. Think of yourself now as a blank slate. You're not broken, you're under construction, but this time you're building with precision. No guesswork, no wishful thinking. Blueprint in hand, purpose in heart. Let's begin with structure. Every great building starts with a solid foundation, and for a man, that foundation is discipline. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. The man who is owned by his impulses is a slave. But the man who governs himself is free, dangerously free, so set standards, not just goals. Anyone can set a goal, most people do, but goals without standards are dreams with no spine. A standard is what you tolerate from yourself on the worst days. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's the rule you live by when motivation is gone, and all you have left is your why. So write it down, speak it daily. I train every day no matter what. I wake early because my future depends on it. I speak with strength, I move with purpose, I honor my word. These are not slogans, these are codes. You're not just creating a new schedule, you're creating a new system of belief. And it starts with the language you use. Let's talk about your identity architecture. You must see yourself not as a man trying to change, but as a man becoming who he already is. The seed of greatness is already in you. Your job isn't to invent it. It's to water it with action, discipline, and alignment. Every time you act in alignment with your future self, you cast a vote for that identity. Every workout, every early morning, every time you say no to short-term pleasure for long-term purpose, you are becoming. This is the grind most men never see. Because this part isn't sexy, it's not Instagrammable, it doesn't get applause. This is the part where you build in silence, where you rise early even when it's dark, where you show up even when you feel like nothing is changing, but it is changing. The man who masters the mundane becomes unstoppable. He doesn't chase motivation, he builds momentum. Now, let's talk about strategic solitude. If you want to become unrecognizable in 2025, you're going to need separation before elevation. That means saying no more than you say yes. No to unnecessary social events, no to energy-draining conversations, no to relationships that pull you away from your path. Solitude sharpens purpose. When you're alone, you're not lonely, you're refining your edge. Use this time to study, plan, pray, reflect, and grow. Because when the spotlight comes, when success finds you, when the results show, you will be ready. And while we're here, let's be real about your habits. You cannot rebuild a new life with the same routines that built your old one. Audit your days, Track your time, become surgical. What do your mornings look like? What enters your mind before you sleep? What do you do with your hours between work and rest? Most men waste these spaces. They fill them with scrolling, gaming, overeating, overthinking. But you will fill them with fire. Read, train, building, reflect, repeat. This is your rhythm now, but let's not forget the why behind the rebuild. You are not rebuilding just to flex, impress, or post. You are rebuilding so that your life speaks louder than your words, so that your future children, your circle, your legacy, feel the ripple of your choices today. This is what true reinvention looks like. It is quiet, it is powerful, it is deliberate, and it is earned day by day, decision by decision. And yes, it's lonely at first, but eventually you will look around and realize you've outgrown the noise, you've elevated above the excuses, you've become a leader, not just of others, but of yourself. This is the man the world needs, and you're building him right now. Comment below. I'm under construction if you're rebuilding yourself day by day. Chapter 3. Mastering the mind and fueling your vision. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. William James, reinvention begins with the mind. The world outside will always be loud. It will always throw distractions, doubts, and obstacles in your way. But here's the secret. The man who masters his mind masters his destiny. Everything you've done so far, shedding the old version of yourself and beginning the process of rebuilding, has only been the foundation. Now we move into the fortress. Your mind will either become the most powerful ally in your journey or the biggest saboteur. And the difference? Discipline and awareness. The key to winning this battle is to take control of your thoughts. When you wake up every day, you have a choice. Will you choose power or will you choose weakness? Will you choose focus or will you drift with the tide? Will you choose growth or will you remain stuck? Your thoughts are the architects of your future. Your mindset is the driver of your transformation. You see, we are all born with a default mindset. It's the mindset we inherit from our upbringing, our environment, our peers. But this default mindset is often filled with limitations, fears, doubts, insecurities. It's the mindset that keeps you in the box, believing you can't rise above your circumstances. But that's where your power lies. You can rewrite your mind. You can choose a mindset of abundance, a mindset of courage, a mindset of discipline. And this isn't just positive thinking, this is mental warfare. It's the daily commitment to choose strength over weakness, action over procrastination, and focus over distraction. When you face setbacks, and you will, it's inevitable, you'll have two choices. 1. Surrender to the story of failure, letting it define you. 2. Embrace the struggle and use it as fuel to propel you forward. Most men surrender, they make excuses, they blame the world. But you are different. You will choose the struggle because you know every trial you face is a lesson, a sharpening tool. And when setbacks come, as they inevitably will, you'll use them as fuel to propel you forward. Think of the greatest men in history, Nelson Mandela, Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill. All of them faced extreme adversity. All of them encountered failure after failure, rejection after rejection, but they had one thing in common. They never let the obstacles define them. They defined themselves. That's the power of emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is your ability to face adversity, handle stress, and stay composed under pressure. It's the capacity to keep your head in the game when everything else seems to be falling apart. And this isn't something you're born with. It's something you build day by day through conscious effort. When you feel overwhelmed, when the weight of your journey feels unbearable, you will need a mental fortress built brick by brick. And the most critical brick? Your long-term vision. Without a clear vision for your life, you're walking blind. You're making decisions based on short-term emotions rather than your deepest purpose. So let me ask you, what does your future look like? If you can't answer that question clearly with laser-sharp detail, then it's time to take a step back. A vision isn't some vague dream of success. It's a precise roadmap of who you are becoming, what you are achieving, and why it matters. A vision should be so clear that it wakes you up at night. It should stir something deep inside you, a fire that refuses to die. Think of Steve Jobs and his vision for Apple. Think of Muhammad Ali and his vision for greatness in the ring. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. and his vision for a better world. These men didn't wake up one day and just get lucky. They woke up every day with a purpose, a crystal clear, powerful vision that fueled every decision, every sacrifice, every action. You must have that same clarity. Here's the secret. The clearer your vision, the stronger your resolve. You need to sit down, away from distractions, and get intentional about your future. What does your ideal life look like in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? What do you want your body to look like, your bank account to look like, your relationships to look like? What legacy do you want to leave? How do you want to be remembered? Once you've defined that vision, you will approach each day with purpose. Every action will become a vote toward your future. Every decision will align with that ultimate goal. But here's the most crucial part. You must believe in your vision. Without belief, you have nothing but a nice idea. Belief is the engine that propels you forward when the world doubts you. Belief is what pushes you to continue when the journey gets tough, when obstacles seem insurmountable. Because here's the truth, the world will doubt you. Your family may doubt you. Your friends may think you're crazy. But your belief must be unshakable. Because the greatest force on earth is a man who is convicted to his vision and believes in it more than anything else. So, do this. Commit. Build your mental strength. Fuel your belief. And let your vision pull you forward every single day. Comment below. I'm unstoppable if your vision is clear and your belief is unshakable. Chapter 4. Sustained Action and Leaving a Legacy. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney. You've rebuilt your mind. You've reshaped your habits. You've cast a vision for your future. Now the final step in your transformation is perhaps the most critical: sustained action. It's not enough to have a powerful mindset or a clear vision. You must execute, and you must execute every single day, even when the fire inside you feels like it's dying out. You see, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by one thing: action. And I'm not talking about small, fleeting bursts of effort. I'm talking about daily, committed, relentless action that compounds over time. Greatness isn't achieved through monumental single events. Greatness is earned through consistent effort. It's the result of waking up every day with one simple purpose: to push the needle forward no matter how small the progress seems. Your actions must be driven by your vision, and your vision must be driven by your purpose. And here's where most men fail. They get caught in the illusion of motivation. They wait for the spark of inspiration, for the perfect moment. But the truth is, inspiration comes from action, not the other way around. The world doesn't care if you're feeling it today. The world doesn't care if you're tired or frustrated or unmotivated. What the world respects is the man who shows up day in, day out, no matter how hard it gets. If you want to emerge unrecognizable in 2025, you need to build a reputation, not just for being talented or gifted, but for being someone who takes action. Remember, it's not about what you can do today. It's about what you can commit to doing tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. This is where most men fall off. They start strong. They have a vision. But when the initial excitement fades, they stop. And that's where you'll leave them behind, because you, my brother, will show up when others don't. You will rise when others quit. Now let's talk about leadership. The man who reinvents himself doesn't do it for himself alone. His transformation impacts his family, his community, his legacy. To be a leader is to influence others with purpose and integrity. To lead is to be a shining example of what's possible when a man makes the decision to transform. And leadership begins with service. True leadership is about empowering others to rise with you. It's about helping them see the potential inside them that they cannot yet see themselves. A great leader isn't defined by the titles they hold, the wealth they accumulate, or the recognition they receive. A great leader is defined by the lives they impact, by the hearts they inspire. If you want to lead, you need to be willing to put others first. You need to share the lessons you've learned, the struggles you've overcome, and the wisdom you've gained. Your leadership will inspire those around you to rise, to strive, and to build their own futures. But to lead, you must first learn to lead yourself with unyielding discipline, with integrity, and with humility. Now let's take a step back and think about legacy. When all is said and done, how will you be remembered? What will you leave behind? What will your children, your peers, your community say about you when your time on this earth is over? Every action you take today is a step towards that legacy. This is not about material wealth. It's not about how many followers you have on social media. It's about the impact you leave. It's about the hearts you touch. It's about the way your story inspires others to rise above their circumstances. Your legacy isn't just a product of your accomplishments. It's the ripple effect you create when you choose to be your best self. It's the way your life shapes the world around you. You see, true legacy isn't something you leave behind. It's something you create in the lives of others through your actions, your leadership, and your service. So ask yourself, what kind of man do I want to be? What kind of impact do I want to make? What will my legacy say about the choices I've made? The truth is, you will never be remembered for the days you played it safe or took it easy. You will be remembered for the moments when you stepped up, when you persevered, and when you refused to accept anything less than your full potential. And here's the beautiful part of it all: you're already on your way. Every decision you make today is a step toward that unrecognizable version of yourself you've been working towards. Your future self is waiting for you to arrive, and the world is waiting for you to lead it. Comment below, "I'm here for the legacy," if you're ready to leave your mark.